There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. As always, I am the Wombat of DM, and with me I have our fearless group below me.
I don't know what order we're supposed to say hello, but I am the Banewall, and I am Belzian Gilcus, the half-elf monk.
I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
I am Jaeger playing Yarvik Venison the Tiny Terror Halfling Ranger.
Ulrich is missing today. He is not able to join us this evening. And that leaves him.
Oh, me. Sorry, I was looking through my spells. I'm supposed the sorcerer warlock who is possibly going to become a king to the glass. We don't know yet. That's still in the works. And, I go by also atomic as mage. Forgot to mention that part. I got really excited about the whole king thing. A lot of plans in the works for these axe plan people. We gotta ask them some questions.
The king thing?
Well, it was originally like a god thing, but I figured, king is more acceptable.
I see. All right.
What is a king but like a representation of God on a planet or something?
There.
It's a dude with a crown and an army.
So last we left off was about a month ago. Apologies for the delay on sessions out there in Twitchland. We had some conflicts with our group. We can't play when there's not when we have two people down. So we are one person down tonight, but we live on and continue on. So to refresh everyone's memory, last time was spent mainly in combat. We encountered a group of 10 Goliaths, which accused the group of being elven spies. As soon as the group tried to resist, initiative was rolled and a fight broke out. The Goliaths took as much damage as they got, or as they gave. I believe there was 4 Goliaths left standing at the end, and 4 members of the party captured with those Goliaths, with the other 3 members hightailing it out of there to live or at least walk away from combat. So those that are captured are Ulrich, Jordan, Zippo, and Brunhild. And then the 3 that are have escaped are Roger, Zippo, Roger, Yarvik, and Belzian.
I was about to say, Zippo really gets around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking to himself all the time, so maybe it's just his other personality, right?
Sure.
So, after they were captured, the Goliaths traveled east to a mountain east of the Valley of Statues where combat took place. I did say north in session, so for those of you who take notes, I corrected myself off session to the group. So the fortification there seems to be at where one of those bonfires that they saw the night before is, and they've each been thrown in a hole. So the group that is imprisoned is currently in cells that have grating over the top. They've been relieved of their weapons, but they have their normal possessions. So, that being said, they are guarded and it is open air, so the sun does come down. They can see when it's day and night. It's in a cave, but like it's kind of like there's a moonlight in the ceiling of the cave, so it's not like a fully enclosed cave.
It's like a skylight.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the group that was not captured, you guys ended up hiding out and taking a long rest.
So we did take the long rest.
We did take the long rest.
You started to, yes.
Should I click the button or not? Ah.
So I believe we're picking up with you taking the long rest. You took a short rest to start and then decided to take the long rest. Oh, also we introduced the name to the explosive fruits that Belzian and Roger interacted with, or no, Belzian and Yarvik interacted with. The pressurized fruits that seemed to make the monkeys' voices go high ended up having an explosive, weaponized version of them that the Axe Clan used in the fight.
What were they called again?
Kreeblunters.
I like Explodo berries.
That's what they're called in Seregen.
In giant speak, it literally translates to balloon fruit, I think, something like that. Or sweet balloon. I think it's called sweet balloon.
99 sweet balloons.
And tonight I am drinking a vodka and cranberry. So, you may have noticed that I have updated the regions for North, Central, and Southern Seregen, as well as create a region for the Axe Clan. As we explore, I will be updating things on the map. But also, if there's anything that you would wish me to add that you've encountered, feel free to tell me and I'll make sure I do so. So we are kind of divided this session, and since Ulrich is not here, it's really Zippo and the DM versus the rest of the group. So if you don't mind, I think I'm going to start with the group that's free first.
Yeah, it's perfect. It gives me time to think about what I want to do. I have plans, but none of them lead with us living, so I'm trying to think what plan lets us live.
Please think of a plan that lets us live.
We'll put that one in the back pocket.
I got plans B through F already planned out. Okay, I just gotta figure out what plan A is.
God, I hope plans B and C at least include most of us living.
Sorry.
All right, so I guess we're camped up somewhere, licking our wounds. We're resting and we're figuring stuff.
See.
It looks like we'll have no choice but to attempt to rescue our friends tomorrow.
But do we though? I mean, do we? I'm just kidding.
Yes, I'm going to attempt to rescue them at least.
I guess we won't know much until we get closer to the place and kind of do a little recon and see what we got.
Yeah. It's a good thing we're all fast and sneaky.
Yeah, that kind of worked out pretty well, right? The non-sneaky individuals are kind of captured, right?
I don't know. Zippo's pretty sneaky sometimes.
I would describe Zippo with many words, but subtle would not be one of them.
But he's at least very compact.
Same could be said about yourself.
It's true. You just kind of fit in a saddlebag, like a really big saddlebag. Or like a
I don't have any soundproof saddlebags.
So we've got 3 people here, but 7 horses, I think.
7 horses.
The horses have come all this way. They're part of the group now. I mean, what will we do without little Belzy?
I wonder if Goliaths eat horses. I don't think the horses understand common. It's okay.
Cover their gentle ears. Shh, shh.
So I'm assuming you are camping out. You're doing the long rest. So obviously you can't really partner up for watches. I mean,
no, I can.
Yeah.
Roger doesn't need 8 hours of rest. Not only did he not lose any health in the fight, but he's also just does not require sleep. So I can take 2 watches if need be.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Belzin is already in his sleeping bag. Asleep.
Yep. Yarvik's in a tree. He's passed out. Oh, actually, he's not sleeping. It's not snoring. He's good. It's very quiet.
So who's taking first watch, second watch, third watch?
Guess I'll be on first and second watch.
Okay.
I don't know who's on third.
The 2 of them can both take third watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we are all rested up, we shall strategize in the morning.
All right. So I guess the first question is, where are you kind of hiding out for tonight?
How far back did we retreat? Like to where the horses were? Were
You're
they
still
by
kind
the
of.
statues?
The horses were kind of by one of the statues that you were checking out earlier. In fact, you were investigating that statue that had the vines cleared from it when Amadeus overheard the Goliaths and went to go investigate. Back
Okay,
a
so
while
we're
ago.
not too far away where we had that big brawl.
Correct. At least if you're still where the horses were. If you want, you could try to go back to your previous camp that you were at the night before, which was on
like
a
up,
cliffside overlooking
cliffside.
the valley. It's kind of the opposite direction of the group, but at least you know it's safe.
Also, if we check the orb, the orb's with the horses, right? Where's the orb?
Orbs with Ulrich.
No, we don't have the orb.
We just have rings, and we know that they are out of range. I think is the
Zippo was able to
conclusion.
communicate kind of. Let's see.
Our reception was bad.
Oh, yeah, he kind of got cut off.
He gave us a direction at least.
Yeah. Zippo wakes up just in time to let the party members know where they are heading before getting out of range of the rings. So he described that they were heading toward a fortification on top of a mountain due east. Bleh.
How
Every
many
time.
fortifications on mountains could there be? I'm pretty confident we'll be able to find this place.
Yeah, I
I mean,
remember.
looking at the map, at most, it's like at most 19 mountains here. So
We saw fires at night. Like we saw a fire, like a fire. There were a bunch of fires on the top of one of the peaks. So I'm pretty sure that's where their fortress, whatever it turns out to be, is. I remember that we saw them.
Yeah. Plus, we can always just like get within a mile or two of it, then reach out to Zippo over the rings. 'Cause there's no way he won't respond.
And then these guys are leaving Goliath-sized tracks. Like it's not going to be a big deal to, follow these guys.
Okay, so finding the place doesn't seem to be a big issue. The issues that we're currently faced with are location of our camp for safety reasons and perhaps time. We don't want our friends to be locked up for too long. I mean, I don't.
No, it's definitely we definitely need to get a move on. We just want to make sure that we're rested up first because we don't we're not going to do any good to them if we're not in fighting shape, right?
I have 4 HP and no key. Let's go.
And a half a pack of cigarettes and a full tank of gas.
Okay, should
There
we
are sunglasses for each of us. No.
should we shuffle into the woods a little bit more off the beaten path before we take this long rest? Or
Absolutely.
do you think where we are is good?
Okay. So you're traveling. Oops. There we go. No. Alright. So you're traveling back west to the top of the valley.
You're going west a wee bit, yeah.
And promptly crash. Are you lighting a fire?
No.
Okay.
Right.
Two of us have dark vision, right?
I can cast a spell for it, but I don't need it right now. I'm back in the woods, so I'm very comfortable with not having dark vision right now.
I think we'll be
Did
okay
you
without a
make
fire.
any efforts to cover the tracks of the horses or yourselves as you headed back to your camp?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to need you to make a survival check for that. And if you're all working together, one of you can roll with advantage.
Probably should be Yarvik. I think. What's my strength?
I've got +5, so I've got +5, so I'm not too bad.
Yeah, I have +4, so you were definitely going to be better at that than me.
You want us all to roll or just one roll?
Just one
Are you
with advantage.
aiding Jaeger or not?
Yes, we will help Yarvik.
Yeah, please help, because that roll is terrible.
I think once we got
It's
to
a
the
roll
horses,
with
we all
advantage,
decided it's super stealth mode. We're all like in the zone. We've all become solid snakes.
You throw boxes over the horses and try and lead them out. Okay, go ahead and roll a second time, Yarvik. Okay,
Hey.
noted. Solid average roll.
We need those.
I aim for mediocrity.
All right, so you head back. Amethyst takes first watch. The other two crash. Roger, you notice that the valley is alight with activity as night breaks. You briefly see that both moons are nearly full at this point, which lights up the area. One is almost full. There's like a fingernail's length left, but it is definitely waxing, not waning. So you should see sometime in the next couple nights the rare double full moon. However, the clouds quickly cover them up and just kind of have a glow about them as the moons kind of light the clouds but don't break through them. And it off and on drizzles and rains. It seems like the valleys get a bit misty, and the mountains kind of get obscured quite a bit in the weather, but it's definitely starting to rain again. There seems to be 4 or maybe even 5 patrols combing through the valley at the moment, looking for what you probably correctly assume to be you. Woo. All right. 5 rolls have been made. Anything else you're doing, Amethyst, since you have no one to talk to for the next 2 shifts?
Roger is going to be sitting as quietly as he can and making sure nobody gets too close.
Okay. On second shift, the torches have spread out. They've stopped combing the center of the valley where you were all fighting, and are starting to comb the edges. 3 patrols pass under the cliffside where you are currently located at. They're close enough that you can hear them speaking in Giant to each other. If only you knew what they were saying. They're speaking in hushed tones that echo throughout the valley because they're Goliaths. So it's like, hey, instead of hey, if that makes sense. You can tell that they're trying to be sneaky, but you can easily see them. You can even kind of count how many there are in the patrols. Each group has 12 people in them. So by math, you have about 60 Goliaths searching for you at the moment.
Aren't we popular?
Proceed.
As third shift happens, the rumble of thunder is heard in the distance, and the moons are the clouds thicken enough that the moons are completely obscured. The only light for the night at this point is the flashes of lightning in the distance. It's a steady downpour where you are, but it is not thundering and lightning over top of you. It seems to be more east. This is as Belzian and Yarvik are being woken up.
So is the ambient conditions, is it too dark and or too rainy to see? Like,
yeah, you
we're
can't,
looking,
you can't see shit, Yarvik. Belzian, you can see in the dark, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so you're fine, but Yarvik, you're kind of blind right now.
Yeah, I'm not wasting a spell.
It's okay, Yarvik. I'll be the eyes, you be the ears and nose.
In fact, it seems every time you kind of feel like you're getting used to the darkness and your eyes have settled enough, another flash of lightning happens and your eyes have to readjust again.
If you blink at the same time that there's lightning, you might be able to avoid that.
Can you see any fire or anything? I know we've heard the through the night. Can you see anything in the distance in the mountains? Do you have any idea about how far away their fortress might be? Can you see anything?
That's a good question.
So, Roger also saw this, but I didn't describe it. That's a good point. So, you can all make out the same 11 individual distant columns of smoke. And at this point, just blips of light of the bonfires. But as soon as the storms roll in, those are obscured almost immediately. So you can't. You would have been able to see them when you went to rest before the storms happened, when the moons were still out. But once the mountains were obscured by the fog in the valley, that was no longer the case.
Do we want to... Trying to go up Bear Mountain is not going to be easy in the best of times. Unfortunately, we got two what looks like to be full moons coming up, so we're going to be very bright nights. But our odds are probably still better to do this at night than during the day. So we may want to try to travel at night and find a place to rest during the day as we travel to the fort. What do you think?
We shall
no,
fly
fort.
by cover of night.
Belzine, give me a perception check too.
Certainly. Yeah,
Like
traveling at night, given the current conditions, does seem like a good idea. 11.
Is there anything else you would like to do on your rest, or on your shift? While Roger rests.
Oh, I think probably wait till everybody's awake in the morning and figure out where to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we get too far into the next day, I'm going to go over to Zippo and Jordan and Ulrich.
Okay.
Woo! I hit my trash can with my foot. But that's the sound of thunder as... no. All right, so Zippo... you are in... and my wife's now checking on me. You are in what I described a hole 15 feet down. There's Brunhild is in the pit with you.
Good.
I guess they assume that the party pets are going the same hole.
Fair assumption.
So you get there about nightfall and are kind of still groggy from being knocked out, but you are also still bound and gagged. If I'm recalling from last time, let me just double check here. The three are then carried up to a roofless cave and put into individual pits, still bound and gagged. Their weapons and bags have been taken into custody. So you still have your ring and your necklace, but you don't have any, like, actual inventory.
Gotcha.
Only things
I'm
that
still
you would
wearing my
normally
cloak,
wear.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That doesn't help me since I'm still bound and gagged, but
Right.
in case of emergency, you know.
So you're in there, and as you were arriving at the fort, the day was turning into night. It was evening. So you didn't get much of a view of the fort, but you got enough to kind of get a general idea of the layout. So I'll bring up the fort map. So this is where the group is located right here. So that represents the hole in the ceiling. The cave entrance is over here. So you're underground in that area.
Okay. Considering I'm still bound and gagged, I'm gonna just, I guess, try to wiggle myself so I can get comfy next to Brunhild.
Okay.
There's really not a lot I can do. I'll check in through the ring to see how Jordan's doing.
I'm okay.
Okay, and then I know Ulrich's still probably unconscious, so don't leave him be. Don't need him and don't need to be in his head. He's an old man. He has to rest, you know.
Yeah, Ulrich was hit pretty hard. The Goliath that hit him did do subdual damage to knock him out, but it was like he hit him as hard as he could, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just I guess wish Jordan a good night and can't really do anything else I don't think while I'm sitting pounding gagged. Other than I guess I don't know. Would I be able to still like make an Arcana check on my necklace? With me like laying down next to it maybe?
Since it's touching you, I'll give it to you.
Sweet. 15.
Okay. Are you gonna just sleep the night? Are you gonna keep watch for yourself? At any point?
I'll probably, since me and Jordan can talk through the rings,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'll have one of us we'll both sleep through first watch, and then he can take second, or he can take second watch, and I'll take third watch.
Okay.
Well, could we have Brunhild take first watch?
Who's gonna wake you up if you oversleep?
True. I just thought, never mind. Yeah, I guess I have to sleep because I need rest. You know, I'm a kobold. We like to sleep. We lazy. So, yeah, I would say. Well, then I guess we don't really need to worry about taking watches. I mean,
Right.
the worst they could do is throw something onto us. I'm already kind of trapped. So, yeah, we'll just go to sleep. We'll sleep through it all. I'm confident. Probably overconfident, but confident.
All right. You start to drift off to sleep. You start feeling the embrace of sleep come over you, and clang, 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 clang. All of a sudden, you're woken up with a jolt as some alarm is happening above you, or somebody is hitting something loudly, and you look up and you see a Goliath peering down at you with a knowing smile. It seems like no time has passed. He was just waiting for you to start to fall asleep before he woke you back up.
I'm gonna give him the evil stare and try to go back to sleep.
Seems every single time you try and go to sleep, as you finally fall back to sleep, the clanging sound is heard and you're woken again. Seems like they're not going to let you take a long rest to fully heal.
That's a bad choice. It's a bad choice on their spot. Zippo's already a testy fellow with sleep.
I will remind you, though, on a short rest, you can use hit dice to heal.
Oh yeah. And I get my spell slots back for my pack stuff.
And
with
you
a
don't
short
need to
rest.
sleep in order to short rest.
True. I will do that though. Short rest.
You hear similar clangs coming from the other holes as your other team members try and sleep. All right. So you did 7. So you did 1 hit dice to heal 7. Okay. And I think you can heal up to the amount of hit dice you have, and then when you do a long rest, you restore half of those.
Yeah.
So like half your level, I should say.
Yeah, so that's 7, that's 28. And I will use just a couple more.
And one of the nice things about D&D Beyond is when you do a long rest, it'll automatically restore the amount that you should get back, so you don't need to worry too much about tracking it like you would on a regular character sheet.
Well, it won't let me do my... So I guess I just gotta roll it. Okay, so that's plus 3 would be 14.
What's the 6s for?
That's my sorcerer hit dice.
Okay.
I got 3 for both.
It looks like... Why did it do a 2d8 for that?
It's because I rolled my 2d8 for my warlock, or my 3d8 for my warlock, which is, you know, the hit dice, and then I had to roll the one for my sorcerer. Yeah.
Why did it roll a 3d6 if you have 1 for sorcerer?
I have 3 levels in sorcerer.
Oh, okay, fair. So you're using all your heals, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I'm using all of them.
Okay, alright.
And I get my pack slots back, but I use my other ones. But that gives me 2 spell slots at least. Sorry, plus first level slots, because I didn't use a lot of those.
Yeah, it's nice being a warlock in that way, for sure.
Yep. Okay, well, with that, I guess the only thing I can do with after taking the short rest would be just, I guess, I'll just be sitting there just laying against Brunhild, you know? Talking to Jordan about how if we get out of here peacefully, I may have to come back and kill a couple people. Especially the dude that keeps waking me up.
Jordan sounds fairly grumpy on the other side of the ring as well. You've never heard Jordan say this, but he's like, I will kill them.
I got you. Me too.
All right,
Just
so
Zippo doesn't know, he's also going to try to send out a message to the rest of the group and see if he gets in your reply.
okay,
I'm assuming he won't, because out of character I know they're probably not close enough, but
you do not, yeah.
yeah. Zippo wouldn't know that till now, just to make sure they're not like already there on it.
Right. So first shift goes by, second shift goes by. You see that your giant is just keeping watch over you. You see the clouds roll in through the roof, through the ceiling of the cave, and then the storm that I mentioned to the other group is directly over top of the mountain range. So it's raining through the gap and into the pits. There does seem to be some makeshift drainage, or something, because the water does escape. It doesn't pool at the bottom too much, which is good because that means you won't drown. Yeah, the thunderstorm seems to be directly overhead, and kind of echoes throughout the cave, making it very deafening. It's kind of it kind of messes with your hearing a bit, and you can feel it in your many rows of teeth, or many teeth, not many rows. You're not a shark. But that would be a kind of a cool idea for a kobold, is a many rows of teeth for a kobold. Make them a little bit more menacing, but not so much in this campaign. Anyway, with your Arcana check of 15, you feel with every lightning blast that familiar connection to your amulet once more. With every crash of lightning, you hear that faint sound of something exerting itself. And you feel a well up of power that only dissipates when the lightning hits. Or lightning crashes, I should say.
Yeah. Let's see here. Thinking back and thinking through like all of this, Zippo would think that the reason he can't connect with this power is because he has some kind of lingering connection to his old power, being, from his old master. And he would be trying to he'd be thinking about it, and he'd be like, finally, eventually, after thinking about it, after a couple lightning strikes, he would accept that this power is not a power granted by his master, it's a power granted by nature or by some other powerful being, and he would give up all thoughts of his master and try to just think on that being the one he hears exert itself, and just be trying to see if he can make some kind of stronger connection with it, through thoughts or I guess prayers in this situation. Whatever kind of situation he could try to connect, he would be trying to do. Whatever would come to his little kobold mind, at least.
Okay. The amulet doesn't glow or make any further reaction than what you're already experiencing, but you feel a tad bit of discomfort on your chest where the amulet is touching you. With the next flash of lightning, you are hit with that same vision that you saw in that dream the other night, where you felt that hole in your chest. Do you remember that?
Yep.
It flashes in your vision as lightning strikes, and then it's gone, and the pain's gone as the lightning ends.
Okay. Okay. Is it was the pain like a essentially a sudden shock, or was it more like a singeing, like it was burning on my chest kind of thing, one of
those.
Iron or something? Gotcha. Okay. The rest of the time, I guess Zippo would just try to figure out if he can figure out what if there was any deeper meaning to that while watching the lightning storm go over. Very much just praying that a lightning bolt would hit this Goliath dude because he hates him so much. The things he could do.
All right. As the storm begins to fade as morning comes, you realize that this storm felt stronger than the last one that you had encountered the other night. It seems like the storms are stronger the farther you go east, or maybe the longer that you've been in contact with this amulet. There's a few connections there that could be either coincidence or causation, right? But either way, the storm dissipates as day breaks, which is also strange because generally weather doesn't work by day and night.
Very strange.
All right, before I go back to the other group, anything else you'd like to do?
I would like to very specifically, like I know, like the kobolds or not kobolds, the glass probably don't look very much different, but I want to memorize this dude's face.
Okay.
Like if we get out of here peacefully, the one piece thing is this dude's head on a block.
Give me. Let's do an insight check. Or I guess a perception check would work too, but I'll take the insight. So you study this Goliath's face, and you are sure if you saw him again, you would know it was him.
And if he's still looking at me, I'm gonna flash him the bird or whatever version of this world's bird is that a kobold can do.
Unfortunately, you were bound, so you just kind of wriggle in your spot and realize that your muscles are quite tired. You're very sore from being in this position.
Fair. He gets the feeling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it in my eyes. He knew.
Going back over to the other half of the group. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay!
It's top of the morning, like noon, or like the beginning of the morning?
Probably the beginning.
It's the beginning of the morning. It's as day breaks.
Top of the morning. Like, are we at sunrise? When are we?
When do you wake up, Roger?
When his HP has been restored. Wait, he already had full HP.
Yeah.
After exactly 4 hours trancing, there's like a ding sound, and I immediately get up.
Yarvik and I are mid-conversation about acorns, and we hear a ding!
I'm licking my ego.
Well, now that everybody's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and not bleeding from the eyes,
Don't look at my profile.
I was thinking during the night. Your posits that we should probably travel at night, even if even with the risk of the dual full moons. It's still better to travel under some kind of cover of darkness since we're trying to be sneaky beaky. Kind of put that out there to the group. Well, this half of the group anyway.
Yeah, being sneaky sounds like a good idea.
Surely we can be sneaky during the daylight. What are we going to do? Just sleep all day?
Just kind of flip things around. Take watches during the day and sleep where we can, and travel as far as we can at night. But what do we do with the horses?
We could ride them.
But at some point, as we get farther into their territory, where are we going to hide all the horses?
Do you think we could convince anybody that we're actually centaurs?
No.
Okay, well, scratch that.
I mean, if we go back and maybe looted some clothes, I don't know what they're wearing, but then I could like sit on your shoulders, and we could try that. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they'll think we're a Goliath.
Yeah, I mean, we don't speak the language, but
Oh, right. Yes. Hey, no, that one guy did speak common, didn't he? He said some threatening things to us before they beat the crap out of us.
He said it in Goliath to Ulrich only.
Oh, okay. I am mistaken.
I say we make a full day's travel till we start to get into the mountains, and then we flip our schedule. It's gonna require some either a really long travel day or a day kind of wasted. But if we're gonna do it at night, I think that might be a little bit better. I guess, do we leave the horses here? I don't know. Or we leave them at the base of the mountain?
What do you think would
Maybe-
happen if they found our horses? They'd probably eat them.
Yeah, they'd probably eat them.
We should eat them first.
Just love how that's your first thought. Not that they take them to use them. Just straight up eat them.
Look, the Goliaths are way too big to ride these horses.
Fair.
I'm all out of my sausage making gear, so I can't even make good horse sausage.
We can always make glue.
Ah, and we could use that to set a trap. Do you think we should perhaps get closer to where our companions are? Like within range of the rings?
That seems like a good idea.
I think that's probably the best first step. See if we can at least reestablish some kind of communication.
And then maybe we could find another safe hiding spot for this small army of horses.
All right.
There's currently more than twice as many horses than people folk.
I will say, if you're going to be riding the horses or even taking the horses, it's going to be hard to do stealth checks. Roger was only able to do stealth checks alone because he was walking separately from the group.
Maybe we should just leave the horses.
Yeah, they look pretty happy.
It's not the first time we've had to leave the horses.
They're good horses. They're good at standing there and waiting.
As long as they've got grass and leaves and stuff, they'll be fine. It's be fine. Everything's
They,
fine.
they won't be useful when we get up to the mountains anyway.
They won't even notice we're gone.
Is it something where you'd like to come back and get these horses later, or is this a goodbye horses? It was you were nice while we knew you.
I mean, it would always be nice to come back and get them later.
Okay. Is there a way that you're going to make things so that you can easily find them again? Or
Let's see,
like,
we
for
camped
example,
here twice, like not the exact same spot.
You've got two options. You either let them roam free on the off chance that you won't come back and you don't want them to starve to death by being strung up somewhere, or you string them up so that they don't wander but maybe don't come back. Right? Or
Well,
did I just say
string
the
them
same
up
thing
for
twice? Okay, so you're stringing
Yeah.
them up.
Yeah.
Is there any
Nobody-
way that you're going to mark where you are so that you can find it again, or what's the plan there?
And I don't think that we can mark off any area without immediately drawing the attention of all of those patrols.
Right.
Yelbric's fairly confident. This is a ridge line that's overlooking a valley. Yarvik's pretty confident he could get close on the way back.
Okay.
If Yarvik thinks he can get close, that's good enough for me.
Roger, sorry, Yarvik, can you roll me a survival check, please? Okay. So the DC was 15. You will have a +4 and advantage when trying to find this location again, as you've studied it for some time now. You basically take 10 minutes to kind of really study your surroundings. The DC was 15. You got +4 on that, so that carries over to your next roll, basically.
Okay.
That's how I'm doing it. Alright. Now that you've tied up the horses against one of the many trees or in the area, you are now ready to set out. So what would you like to do next?
Do we see any groups still looking for us? Do we see or hear them down in the valley as they were out last night looking for us?
Amidst the rain of last night, Belzian actually lost track of all of the groups that were searching. And you haven't seen any since. Being that it's day, it's probably also harder to see them because there's no torchlight.
Maybe they went home. So we suggested doing the majority of our movements at nighttime. In the daytime, did we want to creep stealthily eastward, sticking to the trees, or are we going to stay put?
I was thinking we make time today, get as far as we can to the base of the mountains, then wait, and then as we start to ascend, then we kind of flip our schedule and try to do that at night. Whether that means a long push through the day or a short rest, and then go on again. I guess we'll have to see what kind of time we make today. Whether we want to... Also, do we want to... What's our best speed stealthing?
I believe it's 12 miles. Let's see here. 18 miles for slow. Which actually is probably fairly good, since so the camp is about, you don't know how far it is, but it's at least a day's ride from you. So if you're planning on traveling at night, you get about halfway there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Get halfway there, then swap over to travel at night. Right, fellows, on the road.
Are we taking the road, or are we creeping along the ditch?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
the ditch.
I don't think we want to take a direct route. You know, I think we want to stay off of travel roads, definitely.
If it's all mucky out, we'd probably leave pretty obvious footprints.
All right, I'd say we just let's just let's just go.
All right. Stealth checks, please.
Nine.
You guys are loud.
Squelch, 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 squelch.
What's that? Belzian yells quietly.
Can
You
you
can,
guys
you can yell into the rings. That's fine.
Belzian's not even quiet on the rings. Hmm?
I will remind both of you, if you're looking to be a little quieter, that you do have inspiration to spend.
Oh wow, I'm feeling inspired.
If
Be stealthy.
I mean, if you want to hold on to it, that's fine. Or you can go the Roger way and spend it as soon as you have it. Well, Bane,
It is meant to be.
it was meant to be.
I'm gonna hang on to mine. I think might need it a little bit later.
Okay.
Why are you guys being so quiet?
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
Alright, keep your secrets then.
It's just that Vince McMahon where he's just rocking up to the ring, just doesn't give a crap.
So, Roger, you're kind of leading the path, and you like knowing that it's muddy and everything like that. You kind of avoid the softer ground in favor of the rockier crags that frequent the region and the more hard-packed earth. And you anticipate that the other two are following you. So you're kind of doing a zigzagged motion throughout the valley as you continue forward. At some point as you're traveling, you take a look back to make sure that they're following you, and they're kind of beelining it to your zigzag. So they've made a pretty clear path. And you realize that a lot of your efforts over the last few hours have been for naught.
Well, at least when they find us, they'll think they're only the two that they saw earlier.
Are you doing anything while you're stealthing? Like, what's your plan? What are your actions while you're traveling east?
Yarvik is convinced that he's just stealthing right along, rocking down the trail. He's thinking he's Mr. Sneaky Beaky Man.
Once every 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna think at Zippo through the rings, trying to get his attention.
Okay.
Yarvik is kind of taking note of his surroundings because he does want to be able to find his way back through this area, kind of assessing where we've been, where we are, and where we're going.
In Yarvik's mind, his footprints will lead him back to the horses.
Yeah, it works. It worked before. It'll work again. It's fine.
Belzian's taking a look around. He's a tourist in a foreign land. And he's just like, wow, look at those trees. Look at that sky. What a nice place.
All right. You are headed through the Valley of Statues, so you see many statues throughout the area. Most of them seem to be depicting similar type giant men, with every once in a while a giant woman. And I don't mean like a large person, I mean like a giant. A female giant or male giant. You is anybody making perceptions while you're going along, or is it more just focusing on stealthing and staying to be trying to not be detected?
Does perception affect your ability to do the other things? Doesn't that require concentration?
That's a good question. Ugh. Sorry, my
We
earphones
chew gum
popped
and
in.
walk at the same time?
Yeah, I think you could probably do a perception while you're walking, especially since you're stealthing. Concentration is mainly for spells. It doesn't normally affect other actions like with skill checks. And I mean, if you're stopping every so often, you could do a perception check as well if you'd like. If you fear that it might affect your perceptions.
Sure. I will perceive what Yarvik's little halfling eyes can see.
I can give you a boost if you need a higher vantage point.
Ooh, that's a good point. You can, maybe get a little advantage there.
I don't know if holding you aloft would be an advantage for perception.
Can I do it anyways?
Yeah, we can say that's part of your 9.
Sure is a lot of mud out there and statues, just muddy statues. But,
Roger, while these two are having a day of it, you do notice that Goliath patrol tracks do cross your path every so often, going perpendicular to your own route of travel. This seems in key with what you observed last night with the patrols. They tended to go at a north to south sweep back and forth as they headed further west or south or north, depending on the group.
If we wanted to break up our tracks, we could take a quick diversion along one of these patrol paths.
We could walk where they've walked.
Yeah.
like everybody lining up in the snow and all walking in the same footprints.
Yeah, just for like a mile or two. It shouldn't take us too far off of the direction we're trying to go, and that might throw them off the trail.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I like it.
All right. Are you following the tracks north or south?
I'm thinking north. Yeah, if they're going north, I think that probably.
They travel both north and south. That's why I asked.
Well, we are trying to kill time until nighttime, right?
Yeah, also north tends to get us a little closer to the mountains, so that might make life a little bit easier. Well, difficult but easy from a stealth perspective.
All right. While you are traveling on that diversion, I think it's time we check in on the other half of the party. So, during the morning, a a new Goliath, not the one that was watching over you overnight. It seems they've switched shifts. Begins reaching through the grate. It's a wooden grate, by the way. It's tied together. It looks like it's tied together with tightly bound rope, or some other type of material. The Goliath reaches through the grate with a spear, with a stone blade to it. The stone shines as it reflects off of the light from the that comes from the roof of the cave, and saws at your hand bindings until your binding is released and you're able to release your hands.
Is he gonna stop me from taking the gag out of my mouth?
As soon as she cuts the bindings on your arms, your feet are still tied, your gag is still in. She quickly brings back up the spear and drops down a leg of some sort of bird, and a cooked leg of some sort of bird. A drumstick, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the gag out of my mouth and I'll split the drumstick between me and Brunhild.
Aw. Yeah, only one drumstick for the both of you, unfortunately.
I expected as much.
Brunhild eats hungrily and happily and nestles against you. Brunhild is a little scared by all of
Yeah,
this.
I'll just be petting Brunhild, just rubbing her on her head and right on her ears and everything, just sitting there. And then if I like holler up at the Goliath lady, will she respond to me in common?
So you're yelling up in common what?
I'm just gonna be like, so is the weather normally stormier in these parts?
No response.
Another silent type. Hey, if you see that guy that was here last night, can you trip him for me? Dude's a douche. I hate him.
Still no response. However, early into the morning, while you're eating, you hear commotion on the other side, and you can hear Ulrich say, "Now wait here. Now, let me go." And it seems like Ulrich is drug past the grate. He sees you, and he's like, he locks eyes with you, and he says, "If I don't come back, save yourselves." And he's drug off.
Can I ask her why she thinks we're elven spies? And where the elves are that they think we came from?
Yeah, you can ask.
Yeah, I'll ask her that. Like, so why do you guys think we work for the elves? Like, that was really weird of you just to assume. And second, why are you at war with the elves? Like, I don't come from here. I came from across the wall.
Jordan thinks to you through the ring. I don't know if they understand us or not, but it seems like they're not listening to us.
I'll think back to him. I have an idea. You guys know a guy named Perrin?
It's Piran, by the way.
Perrin?
The female Goliath that's guarding your cell glances down at you when you say the word Piran, and then goes back to ignoring you.
Yeah, dude was really crazy. We met him on the way here. He's got like either a pet tiger or a were-tiger. Jury's still out on that. We're not really sure. Crazier than a bag of cats, though. I'll tell you that.
If you'd like, you can do a perception on that, or insight. Insight. That would be an insight.
Both.
You get the sense that she either understood the weird word Piran, like she recognized the name, or she recognized what you were saying about Piran. Either way, there was a hint of recognition before she went stone-faced again.
Gotcha. So why they got a pretty lady like you guarding us for?
When you say that, she steps out of view.
I'm like talking to Brunhild now, but like loud enough to where she can hear me. Be like, yeah, Brunhild, I don't know. These people here are just kind of crazy. They don't understand the common. They must be dumb.
All right, are you trying to intimidate? Are you trying to get a reaction?
I'm just saying it out loud to see if she'll come back into view.
Okay, all right. She doesn't seem to come back in view. No.
I'll just think to Jordan, like, hey, did you see Ulrich go by?
Yes, he's right next to me in the hole.
Yeah, going by order, they're probably gonna take you next. Because I don't think we're gonna be out of here by then. I still haven't been able to get into contact with any of the rest of the group so far.
Lovely.
Yeah, but don't worry, Jordan. I'll burn this whole thing to the ground if I have to get you and Ulrich out of here. Even if I have to sacrifice Ulrich.
I'm just glad we're not tied up anymore.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
I can do a few things if the need arises, but obviously they're not. They don't seem to intend to kill us at the moment if they're feeding us. So just be careful. Don't do anything too much to upset them. I'd rather not, have them throw spears in the hole at us until we're dead.
Sure. I have some spells I can cast if need be. I also have two 24-foot ladders, a pit, a riding horse with saddlebags, all of which that could be brought up by cloak, if need be.
Oh, so we're good
And a 10-foot
if the
pole.
moment arrives.
Yep, I got a 10-foot pole, a steel mirror. I'm pretty set if something does happen. I also have a steel door. So we're pretty set if like. So what's gonna be the word, Jordan? What's the word for like the activate the plan? What is our go-to?
Almighty Vort?
Yes. We will scream Vort's name as we get out of here.
No, just Almighty Vort.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Because you might mention Vort just to try and intimidate them. You tend to name drop him quite a bit, so Almighty Vort is what we need to say in order to know
Gotcha.
shit's going down.
Gotcha, yeah. And if something happens and we just happen to leave one or two of them alive after we leave here as a message to the rest of them, we're going to definitely let them know that Vort sent us here to do this. But that's plans B through F. We still got to work on plan A.
I unfortunately can't even send a sending. They took my spell component pouch.
I'm gonna update Jordan on my feelings of from the necklace. About how I feel pretty confident with I feel pretty confident that the storms are not naturally happening around here, and that something may be causing them as a way of from this necklace. Or at least that's what Zippo's hoping.
All right.
I'm also gonna let him know that the grates are pretty flammable, so I have that locked down if we need to.
Jordan heals himself for 7, by the way.
Good.
All right. So your plan is to what if he I guess there's some elements that need to happen for your plan to be a thing. First of all, you need to know that there's a way to get out once you leave. Maybe Ulrich will have information about the fort when he gets back. 2, you'll need some sort of distraction so that they don't immediately stop you as you try and climb out. Anything else?
I don't know really about Plan A is still in the wind about the other group. Plans B through F are all exactly the same plan. But the exact same plan for B through F is once we get enough information that we feel confident enough that if we have to escape we can. My go-to is going to be I'm going to light a fire on the grate. I'm going to create bonfire up there preferably. Pull out a ladder, dip out. I'm going to summon the horse, light it on fire, kick it, hit its butt so it runs into them. Drop my other ladder down to get Jordan out. Take the ladder that I had to get out myself, drop it down into Ulrich's thing to get him out. And then if they start running at us, I'm just going to start spamming whatever deafening ear sound spells I can. And while I do it, I'm going to scream in Draconic as hopefully to intimidate them preferably. And then we're going to GTFO. Hopefully. That's ideal plan. That's plans B through F. If that fails, then we're going to have to go back to plan A.
Are you giving this all to Jordan as well?
Yep.
Well, you see, I have the exact opposite spells. I've got silence and hypnotic pattern. Or, well, I can't do hypnotic pattern right now, but I've got the spell magic and silence and silent image and, things like that. That would be, to help us stealth away. And your plans are the exact opposite. Oh, boy.
Okay, all right. So we can try that. We'll do your plan first as the stealth option. But if all stealth fails, then we're going to 100% go out guns a-blazing.
Fair enough.
Can I try to relay that to Ulrich too? I don't know where he's at, but I want him to know the plan. He doesn't have to respond.
Yeah,
he just has to know the plan.
He didn't get a mile away, so you're good.
All right, good. All right, and then
No. It seems like they're taking me to their leader or something. They're taking me to the big building on top. I gotta concentrate. I'll talk to you later, but don't do anything. Don't do anything till I get back.
All right. So Jordan, also, if we meet the leader, I'm going to pray I can either convince them that I am a god amongst people, or I can trade them a horse and a steel mirror and hope. They don't seem very civilized in the fact of metal products, considering they have stone spears. So, do you think a steel mirror and a steel door would be appetizing to them as trade?
Perhaps. I mean, their axes seem to be made out of metal.
Yeah, but the things they're holding their prisoners aren't. And if they had not already kept me awake, I could have done busted out of here.
And I don't even know how many Goliaths are up there. There were 2 that drug over cow. I'm not sure how many are up there aside from I saw a male Goliath looking. He's looking. He's watching me right now as I'm here. Do you have? You seem to be talking to somebody. Is there somebody over you?
Yeah, mine was a lady. I tried to like compliment her to get some reactions, but she didn't really go for it. I guess she kind of walked out of view. Probably shy.
Okay, so we have at least 2 here.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna find that Goliath that woke me up though before we leave.
All right. I'm with you there. Let's move to
Good.
the other group. So the group makes their way north before cutting due east once more. The closer I get on the map with these balls, the harder it is to move them. All right. I forgot to ask, Roger, are you making any perception checks or are you just straight stealthing?
I'm just stealthing and relying on passive perception.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, your passive perception is pretty good. So there's not very many people who have a 20 for passive perception.
I'm literally an expert.
Yeah. As you turn due east once more, and you set your sights on the best way to continue forward, Roger. You notice a figure, maybe about 500 feet ahead, slip from one tree to the next, up in the not in the canopy, but like among the branches. A figure goes from one tree to the next. They seem to be medium-sized humanoid, not a monkey, not a Goliath.
Roger, you seem very deep in thought.
I was on mute. Oh no.
I had a feeling I was about to speak up.
Yep. I'll alert the rest of the party. About 500 feet ahead, there's something in the trees, in the
Whoa.
branches, about humanoid shaped.
Is it a monkey? We've seen those.
Yeah, this is like person sized.
We're person-sized.
So big monkey, basically.
This is personal.
Yeah, like big monkey like Belzian, not big monkey like Zippo.
Did it look like a Goliath?
No.
Oh, then maybe it's friendly.
Thank you for not metagaming.
Yeah, let's carry on. See if we can, if it's along our path of travel, maybe we get a little closer.
Maybe it'll come with us.
So as we travel and we're getting into the base of the mountains, are these forested mountains?
Yes. At least
Okay.
at the bases. The tops of the mountains seem to come up out of the forest, like they're bare on top. They're bald.
So they're above. The mountains are high enough that they have a tree line.
Yes, eventually. Some of the smaller mountains, I'm trying to mark the wrong. I'm looking at some of these smaller mountains here have no bald spots. They're all fully covered, but the next one up, where the group is, and then higher up, are all bald. I believe I've described the mountain range as if they were the spine of a great beast rising out of the forest.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Like a stegosaurus.
I guess the idea is we would definitely kind of want to stay in the trees as far as we can, especially since we have a tree high swinging friend or not friend. I don't know, frenemy. To be determined.
Creature of interest.
Creature of interest, yes.
Like, should we march on, or should we wait for this creature of interest to come see us? Or both?
I say we keep going. There's, nothing is changed. We know it's there. I'm pretty sure it knows we're here. So let's keep going.
There's no way it didn't see the two of you.
Okay.
Are you trying to say we're not very stealthy?
I'd say I am succeeding in saying that. Or rather, I don't need to say it, because it's already been said by your footsteps.
Jarvik doesn't know what you're talking about.
I'm wearing brown robes, and the trees are brown, so I'm basically a moving tree.
Imagine how easy it would be to see if one of these trees was walking around.
I guess I never really thought of it that way.
Okay. Maybe that's my wood elf heritage talking. But I feel like I would notice a walking tree.
So you continue forward, and as you're approaching the tree line that you saw it's not a tree line, right? It's there's trees all around you, but as you're approaching the area where you saw the figure, you see a rock come down and land close to you to get your attention. And then an arm extends out from the cover of leaves and urgently motions you to come up.
Is it possible to raise eyebrows over the rings? Because I would use the raised eyebrow emote over the rings if I could.
You can send images, yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, these are really thoughts that you're saying, right? So, you can impart.
Just say raised eyebrow emoji.
Yeah, you could just you send an image of your mug, but with an eyebrow raised.
Alright, one of you guys go first.
We'll interpret the raised eyebrow as our bodies being raised into the trees as we climb.
All right, give me athletics.
I climb the tree. I climb the tree immediately.
I can't climb worth shit. So what do you guys?
This has been long established.
I can't do anything worth shit today.
Seems like can't get past that 10.
It's going to be embarrassing if Fletcher climbs this tree better than you.
This is not Jarvik's day. This is.
Roger, can you give us a hand up the tree?
I'm literally using all of my power to cling to the bark here.
With,
Oh, you
with
just
Run up
the
my back.
staggering of branches, Roger, you find it fairly easy to climb this tree, but they're climbing from the wrong side, so they're like trying to jump up at higher branches, and Yarvik is not tall enough to reach that branch, and Belzian's kind of like trying to be monkish while doing it, especially since he climbed trees earlier. He's just trying to show off and ends up like not able to get up the tree. I mean, I don't see Belzian showing off very much, but you know what I mean. Like, Belzian's trying for a bit of flair. He's like, "Oh, I've got this tree thing under."
He did so well before.
Right. Um, as Roger is climbing the tree a little higher and then looking back to see his friends struggling, a rope drops down from higher up in the canopy to the side that Jaeger and Belzian are on.
I'm going to shimmy over there and use the rope.
Roger, you hear in Elvish quickly.
I'll pass that along for the rings. The elves in the tree says get the fuck up here. Come on.
Elves? What?
Oh, I speak
I'm the
Elvish.
elves in the tree. Get up.
Insert Vince McMahon rocking up the tree, Jeff, but rotated 90 degrees.
All right, give me another athletics check, and this time with advantage. Roger, you're fine.
I'm sorry, did you say Elvis, the legendary bard?
Belzian, roll again.
I'm just gonna reach a hand back down to Belzy and just like,
There we go. All right. Do you take the rope with you as you climb up, or are you leaving it hanging, Belzian?
Take it with you.
I mean, it's free rope, so like, may as well take it with us.
All right. You curl up the rope as you go up.
Are we in a treehouse? What is this?
So, Roger, since you're up first, you see a young male elf in green clothing, which is has a leaf pattern on it. It's not made out of leaves. It's basically camouflage. It's a camouflage outfit, and he gives you a knowing look as if he says, "I know you have questions, but shut the fuck up right now." And as the other two clamber into the area of the tree that you're at, three wolves, dire wolves, begin stalking or go by, stalking under the tree, sniffing around, and moving off in the direction that the group came from. And with that, we're going to take our 10-minute break. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll see everyone in 10 minutes. All right. Welcome back. After a few moments, when the wolves seem to be at a further distance, The elf seems to relax some. Looking at this elf, the elf is male, has dark hair, almost black, and is wearing the clothes it described earlier. He's mainly looking at Roger, and his Elven seems a bit more formal than the Elven that you're used to.
Oh, I bet I've been speaking horrible human languages for a long time.
Well, it just seems to be it's a slightly different dialect than your own. He does a motion of greetings and asks you to tell him about you.
I'll return the greeting. Say, I'm Roger Mays, and these two are my traveling companions for the time being. Short. The short one is Yarvik. The tall one is Belzian. Normally, they're much better climbers.
By the way, is this an Elven?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Belzian can also speak Elven, apparently.
Perfect. How about Yarvik?
I do not believe Elven was one of the languages that Yarvik picked up, so he's just gonna wave slowly, kind of just hello.
You have Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Orc, so you have it as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we're all friends here then.
Okay, so
I'm not changing how I worded that.
Yeah, he speaks a fairly more formal dialect of Elven or Elvish, I guess they called it, than you're used to. And it would be as if somebody was saying, "How thou art," I mean, like using thou and these instead of just normal speak.
He's speaking Old Elvish.
Yes, like you understand him, but you'd be hard pressed to match the dialect without like really having a handle on what word goes where. He introduced. Go ahead.
I was going to say thank you for helping us out there. I don't think we would have noticed those wolves until it was too late.
Yes. These woods seem to be in a flurry of movement. They are hunting. They're hunting us, I suppose. They must have caught wind of me or one of my companions. They're somewhere nearby. I am Eliath Rosarios, and my companions are Gormir Liamenor and Ayer Yelana.
Do you exist here?
Your Elvish is strange. You must not be from the lands that we are from. Are you? But you also seem to not be of the clans. Are you from the other side?
Yeah, about that.
Guessed it.
The other side, like where the spirits roam, or what do you mean?
Uh, he he looks at you as if you were a sweet child and says, "The other side of the wall, of course, my friend."
Ah, yes, of course.
So if you were to go and visit the wall, you would find that it just might not be there anymore.
Yes, I know. What do you know of it?
I hear
Well,
tales that an old man named Piran sneezed it down, but those are dubious claims.
Roger, you were about to say something?
I was about to recount the same story and our encounter with an eccentric old man near the border.
And why are you here?
Well, a couple of our friends were captured by Goliaths and taken up to the mountains, and we thought to go rescue them.
Yeah, we had a bit of a brawl, and they didn't take kindly to us, beating their asses so handily, but they stole our friends.
You wouldn't have
Yes.
like a elven commando team handy, would you? Just wondering.
It's just the three of us in this area. We are watching the movements of the Axe Clan to see what direction they they want to campaign in. The Axe has always been known to be warlike, and we wanted to make sure they'd go. My apologies, but west and not south.
Why not? Why not south? That seems to be as good a direction as any.
Because that is our lands. We live in
Ah.
Necrata.
So you came from the south when the wall fell, as we came from the west. So there are no other elves in this area.
No.
You really wasted no time coming up here now, didn't you?
We have our ways.
Interesting.
Were you guys up here before the wall fell?
No. No, we enjoyed the comforts of the wall at our backs for quite a few lifetimes.
So did you know about the Axe Clan before the wall even went up in the first place?
Yes.
Huh.
The Axe Clan is one of the oldest clans in Relic. And it seems time has only made them stronger.
So, you ever seen any dragons? I'm just asking for a friend.
Dragons are rarely in these parts. There are, believe it or not, more terrifying things to worry about than dragons in these parts. Not to say that dragons aren't dangerous, but there's a lot more at hand to worry about, if you catch my drift. You notice that Eliath is kind of not meeting any of your eyes while he's talking to you. Instead, he is constantly scanning the area around him, keeping a watchful eye out for any further dangers or movements. That being said, you know for a fact, Roger, that you were stealthing to the best of your abilities, and Eliath still saw you and picked you out of the forest. So, like, he threw the rock at your direction, not the other two.
It
So he's a good scout.
means he's got a keen eye.
Yeah.
Have you scouted farther up into the Axe Clan mountains, specifically any fortifications that they may have to our east?
This is the farthest north we've been. And we only got to this area today.
Ah, well, welcome. What have you seen with your busy eyes?
Well, the Tusks and the Axe are readying for war. Haven't seen any other clans, but I've seen the Axe clan moving south and the Tusk clan moving south and west.
Tusk clan, hey? Are they allied with the Axe clan, do you know? Or are they going to war with each other?
It seems like they're allied. They're certainly not fighting each other.
Hmm.
Well, you seem quite knowledgeable about the clans here. Do you know if any of that might be willing to ally against the Axe or the Tusk?
I only know about the immediate clans on the border with Necreta, but some of the elves of my hometown, particularly my elven chieftain to the south, if you wanted to take safe haven in Necreta, might be able to tell you more about such things.
We have been meaning to dip into Necrata one of these days, especially if they're more hospitable than the Axe clan lands.
Well,
But first,
it depends on. Well, go on.
it depends on what.
Depends on what you mean by hospitable.
Maybe some warm tea and a bed under a roof. But
Yarvik can say over the ring to the other guys. I'm starting to think the wall was actually a good idea.
over the rings, I mean, they did put it up for a reason. I think we
I
all
was
read the
quite
same
happy
book.
with it as it was. Well, I don't suppose we could interest you and your companions in a good old-fashioned jailbreak.
Hold that thought. Gabrielle just reported to me that she thinks she smells gas outside. So I'm gonna go check that out real quick. Like
Ooh.
I don't mean like gasoline. I mean like natural
Gas.
gas. I'll be right back.
Yeah, rotten eggs is bad. Yeah. An IRL perception check.
I'm not sure what these people are doing here. I would be happy to go visit an elvish town, but
I don't really want to visit an elvish town until we have our whole group together, because I'm
Yeah.
very sentimental.
Yeah, that's more of the long range plan. So I don't know. Could we find a way to make the Axe and the Tusk war with each other, and just kind of get out in the chaos?
We paint axes on our arms and like enrage some Tusk people.
I think being in Axe Clan land, it would be better to paint tusks on our arms and try to enrage the Axe Clan.
We've proven we can already do that pretty easily.
Yeah. Of course, the problem is that none of us speak the language.
Well, they probably grunt a lot, so I think we might be able to get by.
I
Axis.
wonder if they understand the middle finger.
Why don't you try it out next time we see a Goliath?
Draw.
What do you think of this Alieth guy? Why does he talk like that? He's kind of a dork.
I'm amazed that their cultural memory of these clans extend to a time before the wall, and
I mean,
that those clans have maintained their clanship for the entire time.
At least as far as elves are concerned, remembering a thing that happened 3,000 years ago is not too out of the realm of possibility.
This guy seems pretty old, like even older than you, Roger.
I'm not that old. I'm
You're
pretty
pretty old.
young for an elf. Like, coming of age is the thing that you do at around 100 years old. I'm only scant 23 years past that.
Yeah, I thought that D&D elves only their lifespan was only like 300 or 400 years.
Well, if we're talking 5th edition, I have no idea. In 3.5, the max age for an elf was well over 700 or 800. Like they hit venerable at 750 and could live well into 900 years.
Okay.
So, like, cultural memory for a species that lives for 1,000 years or just shy of 1,000 years on average feels like it should be able to to hold on to things from 300 years ago, but
Yeah.
Maybe it's a
It'd
different flavor.
it'd be like us talking about World War II or like Vietnam.
yeah, it's like even if you assume that elves live, a third of the time, like only live 300 years, then it's still talking about like World War One instead.
Yes,
It's
barely
it's
on the edge of living them.
it's the sort of thing that they might somebody that they're related to probably met a person who was involved. Like somebody they know and could talk to today met somebody who was involved.
Probably
I know a guy who knew a guy who knows a guy.
Now this is the my grandpa was in the war that happened like played in the intervening time, and he could have talked to somebody who was there for the original event.
God, so it's like that. I know a guy, but that guy also might just be me.
Yeah. Think like my great grandfather fought World War II. So imagine if I was 20 years older, right, or 30 years older, I'd be saying, yeah, my grandfather fought in this war and his grandfather fought in that war, sort of thing.
Yeah. Both my grandfathers fought World War II.
Me too. Or mine too, I suppose.
Oops. Hello.
Added maple syrup.
Your house is not burning down?
No, there's no smell coming from our house. I do smell a
How
faint
many
smell
rotten eggs?
outside. So I don't know. It's faint, so I don't know what it is.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to call Pico.
Yeah.
Yeah, make that call if you gotta.
Yeah, she's working on it now, so we're good.
Well, Alias, how are you and your fellow elfin spies, as the Goliaths are inclined to call us? How are you guys interested in an old-fashioned jailbreak?
You said your compatriots are have been taken capture by the Goliaths, the Axe Clan. Do you know where they are?
We were kind of hoping you would know.
I'm assuming up one of these mountains.
One
We
of
saw
their
some-
mountain fortresses.
Fortress says, you mean they've got more than one?
Oh yes, they have one on every one of these ridges. The mountains are their fortification. It's where they were able to hold on to their clan lands long ago. In fact, they used to only be in the mountains at one point, but they have certainly taken over more of this region.
Well, the good news is that if we get close, I can say for sure whether it's the right one or not. But we will have to actually get kind of close. I would assume they were taken to the closest one.
To the north mountain, the south mountain, or the east?
East? Probably.
We've been traveling under the assumption that it would be the East Mountain.
Okay. Well, I'm certainly keen on helping, but we also have our own mission, and we need to get back alive to report our findings.
Secret elf mission? Can we help?
You might be able to, and in fact, your party members might have some information that we seek in terms of how many they have in each fortification and things of that nature, what their plans are, what they know, anything that might be pertinent in protecting the elven homelands to the south.
We definitely want to try to do this without bloodshed if we can, since, don't get me wrong, I mean, we gave as good as we got, but fighting Goliaths is not a long-term prospect for success for our tiny group far away from home.
Yes, unfortunately with the Goliaths, bloodshed is generally inevitable, but perhaps a mission of stealth would be prudent for sure, if that allows, or at least one of distraction.
No, I'm capable of being quite quiet. Yarvik and Belzin maybe less so, but at least they're fast.
We're usually good at climbing up trees, too.
There's a difference between capable and motivated.
Let me bring my other two. Let us wait for my other two compatriots, and we shall discuss this matter more. Which
Sounds really
is a good cue for going back over to the fortress, if that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
What's up, Zippo?
we're activating plans B through F. Which is all the same plan. Except each plan has like one thing that differs it. And then like in one plan, instead of lighting the horse on fire, we just kind of hit it. And the other plan, we light it on fire. And one plan, we kill the horse and go inside of it and walk out. You know, like a costume. We all get to make that "I thought they smelled bad on the outside" joke over and over again. But no, in all reality, we're probably just waiting to see if Ulrich ever comes back. And if he's hurt really bad when he comes back.
Ulrich does not come back, at least not in the time that has elapsed.
That's how I'll also try to chat with Lady Guard again. I'll just try to I'll just start paying her compliments, pretty much, trying to see if she'll come back to talk to me.
Okay.
here. And if she doesn't answer in common, I'm gonna start giving them out in Draconic, Infernal, and Primordial. Skipping over Elvish because she already thinks I'm an Elvish spy. I don't need to speak Elvish to convince her more.
Fair. When you speak Infernal, she comes back over to the cage and points down at you angrily.
Infernal?
Yeah.
Give me a reason why?
What?
I'm asking her if she can give me a reason why she doesn't like Infernal.
She shouts at you in giant speak, and it seems like she's on the verge of being violent.
Lady, you already know I can't speak that. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you in that.
She's gonna try and intimidate you, despite you not being able to understand her. Let me bring up her character. Okay. It's charisma for intimidate, right?
Yeah.
A nat 20 to.
You what?
A natural 20 to.
Of course.
So. She's screaming at you in Goliath, which is not, the most delicate of languages, and it's such a volume, and she's brandishing her spear. You know that if you keep talking Infernal, she's likely to stab you, and you feel a bit, you feel a little scared at that. Like, you know that she's on the verge of actually trying to kill you.
In the Primordial, in Aaron talk, I'm gonna just start whistling.
Okay. Like, it wasn't me.
Yup.
Okay.
I don't know who talked like that. I'll think to my head and talk to Jordan. Like, they really do not like Infernal as a language. Don't speak it.
I don't know Infernal.
Yeah, I do. She did not like it very much.
Huh.
And then now that she's looking at me in common, and be like, when is lunch?
She spits at you and moves away again.
Every time. I'm just gonna sit there and pet Brunhild then. Talk to Brunhild, and try to just have a jolly old time, Also check Brunhild out, make sure she's not I don't have a brush. I'm gonna brush my hands through Brunhild's hair
Okay.
to try to make sure ain't no knots in it or nothing.
Yeah. One thing I will point out that's hilarious is that every member of the party knows Elven except for Ulrich.
Yep.
Ulrich does not know Elven, so if we ever wanted to play a prank on Ulrich, we could just communicate in Elven, and he wouldn't know what was happening.
This is noted. Thank you.
That is very useful information.
Ulrich secretly an Axe Clan spy?
He does,
All this time.
He does know Giant, but he doesn't know Elven or Orc. Or he knows Orc and Giant in common.
That's
Yeah, it's funny.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
They're definitely gonna think we're
after
up spy.
how long he's been spending with you, he hasn't
Picked up on any
picked
of it.
up any Elven at all.
I'm sure Rogers made a point of not talking to Ulrich and Elvin. Because he knows he doesn't speak it, so he'll just speak the common language.
Fair.
I don't have anything on me. So while I'm brushing Brunhild, I'm just gonna be like patting her on the head at the same time. I'm gonna just be talking, you know. I'm gonna just be talking to her. I'm gonna just keep telling her the story of Vort, and I'm gonna make it like the most epic tale anybody's ever told of anything.
And you're saying this in common, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, you're just telling a story, trying to pass the time, right?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
all I can think to do.
Yep. Sounds good.
I'll also send out like a message on the ring every once in a while, just because I still don't know where the rest of the party is. So it'd be like a hey out onto the ring eventually, hoping that they come in range.
Nice. All right. Eventually, two more elves step out of the tree and onto the branches with the rest of the party. They literally phase through the tree and step onto the branch. They seem startled by the rest of the group being there and look questioningly at Eliath, tracking both Belzian and Roger's elvish features. And that before finally settling on Yarvik with his short stature and obvious halfling nature. They say in Elvish to Eliath, we left you for an hour and you've already picked up strays. And
Wouldn't it be funny if we were all related?
And he immediately he says they can understand you, and the female who spoke up basically her face darkens a bit before it darkens as in like a slight blush before her features smooth once more, and she bows an apology.
No, that's fair. We're strays.
It'd be pretty accurate.
This is Ayre, Ayre. She also has dark hair, and she has tanned skin with light freckles. So, like, imagine what freckles look like. It's like the opposite of that. So, like, darker skin with pale freckles instead of the other way around.
Inverted image.
Yeah. They're all three of their skin color is tanned, like not olive, but like slightly darker, so like more Romanian, Middle Eastern. She's the only one with the pale freckles, though. Gormer has black hair with orange strays. So, like, there's streaks of orange in his hair. Eliath explains the situation to the other two. My our friends here, these strays. He smirks at Roger. Have had their friends captured by the Goliaths. They too were scouting these lands, investigating the Axe clan, and battled with them, and some were captured, and these three escaped. They're asking for our help. Help? What kind of help?
What can you offer?
Well, depends on what you need. Ire is obviously the leader of the three. As soon as she arrived, Eliath kind of has deferred to her, and she's the one mainly speaking. Gormer has taken up watch and hasn't really said anything.
Well, we know roughly which direction they were taken in, and we're sneaky and well, I'm stealthy, and the three of us are good at fighting.
How would you folks like to see an up close and personal look at the inside of one of these axe fortresses?
Well, the fortresses, there aren't any trees about up there, and the tops of the mountains. It'd be harder for us to escape if things went south. Or things went north, I should say.
We've already come all this way. It's life is risk.
We've actually had 100% success rate at escaping these Goliaths so far. If ever we need to, beat a hasty retreat.
Well, I count 3 of your group as captured, so it would seem it was more 50-50.
It's 100% success rate 50% of the time.
50% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
To clarify, the other 3 did not attempt to.
Perhaps it was their plan the whole time. We never really had a chance to talk about it.
What would you suggest?
Well, I'd like to get up under cover of dark and try to sneak them out without drawing too much attention.
And if push comes to shove, one of our compatriots currently captured, he can blow a lot of things up. So distraction definitely would be something we could arrange.
He does like fire.
One of our companions does speak the Goliath's language. So perhaps Ulrich has overheard something while he's been captive.
We have no doubts that their inside information will prove very valuable.
She considers this for some time and says, if we do assist you, it is at great risk of our own. Without some sort of assistance from you in return, we'd be hard-pressed to help every stray that came along our path. But Elias says that you're from the west?
Yes.
So you might have information that we could use.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
That's it. Our Our leaders are looking for allies, people to trade with. We don't want war.
And do you speak for your kingdom?
I believe that is almost verbatim what we were asked to do. Go with peace, were our leader's exact words.
Well, yeah, pretty much. We do speak for the entire kingdom. Wow, I've never really thought of it that way. Huh.
Unfortunately, the Axe Clan not super excited about peace.
Yeah, they could use some work on manners.
You're ever just gonna say over the rings? Yeah, we need a raise.
Elias says to Ire, they seem to be just like us. Ire, it seems we have a like mission, and it's 3 and 3. It seems almost identical. We are of similar backgrounds, but on separate sides of the wall. Couldn't we just help them? And if they get caught again, and it tracks back to us, if they haven't already been, and she looks, they look elven. The Axe Clan is going to think that they are us. If we help them, we're just going to be confirming that for them. We'd do everything but invite them to our doorstep.
Look, Elfin, I'm an elf.
Right, and if you get caught, where are they going to turn? To the elven lands.
They're coming no matter what we do here today. Once they know the wall is down, they're coming. It would behoove us to take this opportunity to learn as much about them as we can, including those that we have in captivity that may have learned valuable information we just don't know yet.
We have a cut real quick over to Zippa, who's humming in wind elemental language, while a Goliath is shouting at him to stop whistling that high-pitched sound in Goliath. Cut back to the group.
Perfection.
Yeah, they picked the wrong person to capture, for sure. Alright.
You
I
say
see your point.
elfin lands. We were told by the only friendly person we've met, aside from you three here, that the southernmost lands were ruled by vampires.
Yes, they are. She seems uncomfortable by this.
Intriguing. Over the rings, do you think they're elven vampires?
Not outside the realm of possibility.
Perhaps we should try to please them so they smile more, and then we can tell if their teeth are pointed. I'll keep an eye out.
I think I've got garlic somewhere in my backpack.
I suppose you're probably thinking, am I a vampire? Are we vampires?
Oh, no, that would be preposterous. Unless you are.
In which case, I, for one, welcome our vampire overlords.
We elves have a truce with the vampires. The lands to the south, Necrata is known as the Eternal Lands. And let's just say the vampires are not the only eternal beings there. We elves do not wish war with the vampires, and so they allow us to remain in our homelands. And in return, we guard the wall. We are Necrata's first line of defense.
The clans like the Axe clan and the Tusk clan? Or any of the clans?
They are our enemies.
Hmm. I mean, you've made a truce with the vampires. Who's saying you can't make a truce with the clans?
Sounds like the Hex clan was really interested in peace.
She gestures at Roger.
Sam, there's a lot of blood in a Goliath. I mean, that's a big blood bag. Maybe the vampires are willing to, put some skin in the game.
Oh yeah, I wonder how long a Goliath would feed a vampire village for.
This line of dialogue seems to sicken Ire.
I'm gonna the rest of the party.
Pardon us. Perhaps we should focus at the task at hand.
So the plan is to go at night?
Yeah.
It's interesting that you'd pick tonight.
I didn't pick tonight. They got kidnapped yesterday.
I mean, it seems
going as fast as we can.
Then
as good as a night as any night. I mean, what's so special about tonight?
it must be fate then, for both Rian and Sierra will be in full bloom tonight.
Ah, so you have the same name for the moons as we do. Neat.
The moons have been around for longer than the wall has. She just says that matter-of-factly. Like, again, almost like she was speaking to a child. It doesn't come across as patronizing. It comes more across as like "Aw, honey."
Well, even if it was patronizing, I don't think Belzian would notice.
Especially if he rolls another 2 again.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know patronizing if you were shopping at a store.
Ah.
You wouldn't know patronizing if you were paying somebody money on Patreon.
Yeah. So what do you mean when you say fate? Are you saying that it is a good night to try this plan or other?
She smiles and says, "I guess we'll see."
Well, yes, I have eyes.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, so it is decided then. I suppose we have some time to spend traveling before nightfall.
Let's.
Also, just because Zippo's been humming this tune this entire time, that's what he's doing over the ring now, too. Like, he's forgot all about sending messages. He's just been over the ring out to anybody who can hear him, just the humming. Trying to avoid Jordan's ring, because he already knows Jordan is kind of annoyed.
See Ulrich's ring just switched to, like, mute.
Do not disturb.
So, Aaron is kind of a haunting thing to sing. It almost sounds like wind whistling through like the slats in a window or whatnot. You know that classic windstorm sound effect.
Yeah.
So while you're whistling that, Jordan's doing his best to harmonize with you. In fact, I'll even do I'll do a roll. Why not? Performance. I can whistle. Almost got a natural 20. Got 21. All right, so I am harmonizing with you, making it sound even more annoying and haunting. I love it. Love this. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. All
But these
right.
glass don't.
So group in the trees. Rather than phasing through the trees, the elves begin climbing down, look around, and then motion the three of you to come down as well.
We'll come down to the ground.
And the six of you travel east. Before you do, Gormer comes up to the three of you and rubs each of your feet with soot out of a pouch. And he does so to the other two as well.
Does it tickle?
And then each of you has a +10 bonus on your stealth checks.
Poggers.
Basically, he's casting Pass Without a Trace, and he's choosing everyone he's marked. So it's just the components are ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. So that'll last about an hour.
Yeah,
Cool.
sneaky now.
I feel more stealthy already.
Who said that?
That also means that you'll have to re-roll stealth checks and add 10. Your lowest roll yet.
Fortunately, I now have +21.
Yes.
So-
I guess that's a 30.
Yes. You're all Roger level stealth now. At least for the time being.
Huzzah.
I say huzzah, but stealthily.
So at this point, you also find that you're not leaving any tracks, even when you step in the mud. And you begin traveling east, I assume?
Yeah.
Alright.
Time to go.
For the next 3 hours, each one of them cycles through taking a pass without a trace, so that they're not all spending an absurd amount of spells. And gets you through to really the end of the day. At this point, the ground has started to incline. You're still in the forested area, but it is getting darker. Throughout that time, you have encountered times where you've had to stop and let groups pass. One elf shot a large wolf, and it seemed to go down with just the one shot, similarly to how Amethyst took down the Manticore that one time.
In fairness, the Manticore did take 2 shots.
Yes, it did. It seems this wolf only needed one, though. And then, as it's starting to get dark, they kind of stop and say, this is where we'll rest until night falls. The moons are already out. They're both full, and they're on separate sides of the sky, really filling the sky with light. It's a very bright light, and it seems to be clear skied, at least to the west. To the east, clouds are beginning to form. Ire looks at the clouds to the west and frowns and says, there are no signs of storms tonight.
Same thing happened last night.
And the night before.
Do you know?
Just heads up, Zippo did tell the rest of the group that he felt the storm was connected to his necklace before they separated. Like, the first night it happened, he let the group know that he felt he could have a connection with it. I don't know if they remember that and mention it, but I just wanted to say that the group did know, as like a heads up in case they felt like they would have said something about it.
Oh. No, there's no way that Roger would have remembered that. Although I personally
is there? Yeah, I forgot it too. Is there a way to do like a memory check? Like,
yeah, it's history.
A recap check.
Yeah, you remember
that time that Zippo was troubled at nighttime?
Yeah, didn't Zippo say something about his amulet with the storms?
Zippo says a lot of stuff.
I thought he was just being dramatic.
Well, if it is your companion that has some connection to the storms, at least we know we're getting closer.
Agreed. We can probably follow the storms to him.
The storms might be able to prove some cover as well. Blot out the moons and the sound.
Undetected, we could strike lightning.
Inspiration.
Oh, shocking. Thank you.
This is bad.
It's been a long month with no D&D.
Yeah.
Well, we should pair off for watches.
So are you going to be doing washes if you're going to be traveling at night?
We
I
just
think we're
travel all day.
I think we're doing a casual short rest, and then we're moving at night.
Are we gonna get like really tired by traveling at night after traveling all day?
Yeah.
Very likely.
That was the plan that you guys had, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, are these elves willing to do that with us?
Do NPCs get tired?
They do.
Oh yeah.
Doubly so.
Do they seem like they're ready to stop and make camp?
I mean, they said that they were stopping.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we're stopping with our protection.
Yeah, I think
The
they
person
said
who can cast pass without trace.
I think they said they were stopping to wait for night to fall. So
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, they're
We
doing
could
a short rest, basically.
I would say, yeah, we could get a short rest done.
It's good to me.
Ulrich is still not back, Zippo.
Zippo's gonna start screaming up to the lady in common and asking her what they did with his compatriot.
Yeah, it's now getting night, and you can hear the wind picking up as the clouds are beginning to form above head, and that familiar feeling of the air charging as another storm's coming.
Yeah.
You do see both the light from both of the moons and the hair on. Well, I guess that you don't have hair. What would lizards feel for uneasiness?
I feel like the scales would like wiggle a little bit.
Right.
It's kind of.
Do you have like barbs or anything like keratin barbs or horns or anything like that along your head or anything?
Yeah. Let me pull up the pictures of.
I've got horns.
I'd say like. Going through like the way. Yeah, I've got horns.
Yeah,
and
so,
like little frills on my cheeks.
Right.
And really long ears. So like.
Yeah, the ears are generally uncharacteristic for a kobold, right?
Yeah.
All right. I would say like the back of your head itches from it, like your horns itch.
Definitely. And I do remember from our Arcana check last night that this would be the night I could do something. So
It
I'm gonna-
seems like the ingredients seem to be in sync tonight. Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna whisper to Jordan that I feel like not whisper, but over the ring, because I forgot we have. I keep wanting to think that's whispering, but through the ring, I want to tell Jordan that it's very suspicious that Ulrich isn't back yet. So we might need to prepare to try to find out some way we can get out to help him. And second, I can feel like tonight might be the best night for me to do the thing connected to my amulet. So I might be out of commission for a little bit trying to figure that out.
Okay. Don't go too far into it, in case one of us needs to shout our catchphrase, or code word, or whatever you'd like to call it.
Yes, I will keep enough consciousness to remember the Almighty Lord.
Oh, now?
No, I was remembering it for myself.
Okay.
But I am ready. Whenever we need it.
All right. So, because there's a few elements in play right now, and because it's getting to 10:30, we have a half hour left of stream before we have to end. I think what we should do here is come up with a plan for how we'd like to go about infiltrating the base, and then we'll start with it next session. Does that sound fair to everyone?
Yep.
Go ahead.
So here's my idea. So we have 3 ring-wielding people and 3 elves. So we split into groups of 2. 1 ring wielder and 1 elf. And we recon the base from different directions. And then that way we can all maintain communication together and get a good 3D picture of what the fort looks like, because more information is always going to be better. We can even lay up and watch in shifts if we need to see what kind of activities coming and going, things like that.
Seems sensible. It's better than my idea of sending the 3 new elves to the front door and seeing what happens.
I think we definitely want to pair off. We'll want to pair off for our watches too. One of us and one of them.
I mean, technically speaking, you could probably do a full 8 hours now and like strike super early in the morning before the sun rises. Like 2, 3 in the morning. Right? If you wanted to try and fit in a long rest.
I mean, I don't think any of us need the long rest. We're all basically up to full health.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a short rest is the way to go.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever rest to avoid exhaustion.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a long rest.
Yeah, avoiding exhaustion is the big thing.
Yeah, so I'm saying if you wanted to take the long rest to avoid the exhaustion, you have that option. If not, you can rest when you're dead too. Or even if you're... That's an
we'll
expression,
keep that one
but
in the back.
yeah. The elves have basically agreed to help you, as long as but in return, they would like you to come back to the Elven lands to give them information on both your lands and what you've learned in the Axe land up north.
That sounds super exciting to Belzian.
Yeah, I mean, on its face, that's not bad. I mean, we do know that they made a deal with vampires, which we're not sure exactly what that means yet. So, but it's maybe better than the Axe Clan.
There's a good chance they'll just arrest us and put us in an elf prison instead.
I think we're in a pretty good spot, right? We found potential allies. And if they want to know things about our kingdom, all we have to do is get Jordan and step over the wall to ask our leader. 25 words at a time.
Perhaps we could set up a delegation or something, but that's down the road.
Hello. Found vampires. Found Goliaths. Possibly dragons. Also elves. TLDR. Shit's jacked.
The message back is, this isn't much different from the last message you sent.
That is basically the same message.
Yes, send money and food. Yeah.
But if if they have specific questions for our leadership, we can at least ask them.
Right.
If they want any information from us, we wouldn't even have to lie.
We could tell pretty much truthful things.
Yes. There's no ulterior motives there. But get our friends out of jail here, we would need a better picture of the Goliath fortress.
Right.
Or perhaps it's better to say the Axe fortress, because we don't know if it's just Goliaths in there.
What a very magnanimous thing to say. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I love everybody. So yeah, pairing off into 3 little scouting parties and communicating through the rings seems reasonable.
So you don't know what the fortress looks like, but you will when you get closer next session. So I'm showing it to you now, because we're gonna start with you infiltrating, or leading up to infiltrating. Provided that you roll well on the slope up. There might be something that happens between then and now, but you can at least come up with a plan for what you'll do. So as you can see here, there seems to be a path that wraps around the mountain. There are caves that go along that path. So like for example, here is a tunnel. There's a cave here too, and this seems to be the main structure, possibly where Ulrich got taken, but it could be one of these other buildings too.
So like this little 15-foot stretch here would be like a little tunnel going underneath.
Yeah, there's a tunnel right
structure.
here. Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
This area here is where that bonfire is that you saw from a distance, and you can see it lit right now as well. It's not the biggest bonfire. It's not the one that pulses first. It's the one directly south of it. Not depicted on the map are various logs that have been staked down into the ground to create fortifications. They're wrapping along the edge of many of the cliffs in sections. And obviously there's not any Goliaths depicted in this illustration at the moment, but provided there's probably going to be some in that.
Probably.
So, any thoughts? So you're pairing off into 3 groups. What are those 3 groups going to accomplish separately?
I mean, recon's pretty simple, right? So we're looking for signs of visible fortifications, any points of egress. This place needs water. This place is going to need drainage. Any kind of
How many guards are posted and where?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Manpower. What are you looking at? Do they have like lookout towers? Are there people in them?
If we can determine which side the prisoners are being kept on, we can easily set up a distraction on the other side of the fortress and then do a quick extraction.
Cool.
We would definitely be reaching out to Zippo, Ulrich, and Jordan once we got within range of the rings to try and figure out what the situation is and where exactly the 3 of them are.
It looks like we're doing some stealth recon and not any kind of diplomacy.
But not only do we not speak the language that the Thags clan is using here, but they don't seem particularly disposed to diplomacy.
What a
Yeah, it didn't
Also,
work so
terrible.
well. And then Ulrich cut one of them in 2. So yeah, they probably talked to us.
I thought that was just the language they spoke, you know?
That's fair. That's fair.
As we get closer, we may be able to determine how bound our spellcasters are, if they could create a diversion from inside a cell. I don't know if they'd need their hands or mouths free. But we'll find out when we get closer.
Sounds good.
We also may be able to use whatever the brewing storm is to our advantage, as we talked about, to kind of, muffle our movements. But I would hope if we have reduced visibility, etc., hopefully they do too. So,
We have any like metal objects we're not using? Perhaps we could create like a lightning stake. What are those things called? That
Lightning rod.
lightning rod, yeah.
I know
I mean,
exactly what you were thinking when you said metal. I was like, yeah.
Jorvik's got a nice frying pan he uses for sausage.
Ooh, and we're all out of sausage.
I use this frying pan for bites and sausage, and I'm all out of sausage.
I need
Or
that.
Yarvik
need
doesn't
that-
run in there with a frying pan.
I feel like we need that on a shirt for the group.
I'm sure
You're
we
to
could
kick
think of
ass
plenty
and
of
sausage.
t-shirts for the group.
That'd be fun.
I'll have one for each character. Different phrase. Alright, so what we'll do next time is we'll roll for travel. Zippo, we will probably start by picking up on you with the amulet, timing-wise. That'll probably be happening as they start to approach, based on when the storm's going to hit. And then we'll go from there. And hopefully we'll have Ulrich next week, and we'll see what he does in his one-shot, where he is doing interview with a Goliath, not a vampire.
Do you want me to wait to make the Arcana check till we start next session?
Yes,
Do it now?
please. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed me to make it that way you could make a plan, or if you got it already all planned out.
I've got a few ideas for how this is going to go.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, we will leave off tonight on the cusp of action. I appreciate. I hope the session was entertaining. Meeting NPCs and traveling and things like that. I know not as much happened as we usually have, especially for being a month gone. So I hope you guys still enjoyed. Especially since we were split, so we had to do half and half a lot.
It's been great.
I thought it was pretty good.
I love singing in Aaron or whatever air element is.
Yeah. All right. So we will be back on the the 14th of June. Gosh, it's already gonna be halfway through June by the time we meet again. It's crazy. Hey, and we got a sub. Atomic, thank you for the sub. 12 months.
Yeah, I just logged in and there was a share, and I was like, oh, got a share.
Wood.
I'm officially a year old, boys.
You're a year old. You've got the silver rupee. Congrats. So, awesome. Thank you so much. And, yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks here on the channel at 7-ish Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, be safe, be well, and be adventurous. So long.